Today we're going to change the run capacitor on a central air conditioning unit. We have over here actually two units. One is a 3.5 ton unit. They're both Tempstar, which is made by Carrier. It's the same manufacturing plant, I've been told. And I also have a 5 ton Tempstar unit. The 3.5 ton covers the basement and the first floor. The 5 ton unit covers the bedroom level and the attic, where we have a bedroom and other living space. So it's a lot to cover, and we want to keep our units in tip-top shape. So it's been about 4 years, and I'm told that it's a good idea to replace the run capacitor in the air conditioning unit. Now this is the hard start capacitor. This I added some time ago, and I made a video on that, if you can see that. It's just very hard to get here because there's very little space here. This is the run capacitor. This is what we're going to change today. We're not going to touch the hard start capacitor. And I'm going to show you, first you want to take a video as to what it looks like. So if you run into any problems, you can always reconnect it without a problem. So you see we have the red and yellow over there. We have the brown wire which goes to the common. This red and yellow up front is, unless I have it wrong, actually the brown wire is the fan. Let me be corrected. Brown wire is the fan. This red and yellow is the common. And the striped yellow is the Herm. See if you can see over there. So it's important to record that, because if you make a mistake, at least you can change it. And I have over here two run capacitors that I purchased. They're different, you can see. That's the one, the 7.5 UF is for the 5 ton unit, and the 5 UF is for the 3.5 ton unit. So we'll take it out. And as you can see, this one's about the size of a can of soda. It said GE Gentech. I don't think it's GE Electronics. It's not General Electric. But here's the information for this one. And in any event, it's a replacement for the capacitor, the run capacitor that's inside. And you can see on this one, it's pretty big. It weighs about a pound and a half. And it's marked Herm, Common, and Fan. So obviously you don't want to mix those up. And so what you want to do is, whenever you replace something, like in a car or any other electronics piece, you really want to do it one-on-one. Because you want to match it up, take the wire off what you have, move it over to the new part. So this way you really can't mess things up. But before you do anything, first of all, obviously, you're dealing with electricity. You want to shut off the electricity at the main, which I've done. And what's important to understand is that this is a capacitor. This stores electricity. So even though you've shut off the power at the main, this is still going to be powered. So you need to drain this of the electricity. You need to ground out these two wires, this one, which is Herm, and the one in the back, which is Fan, to this one, which is Common. Now it's not difficult to do. You just need to run this across. Let me see if you can see this. Let's see what comes out. Nothing came out of there. And I'll do the one in the back, Fan. Nothing came out of there. I didn't see any spark. So at least we know it's grounded. We're not going to have a problem. We're not going to get shocked. It won't kill you, but it certainly could ruin your day. And the next thing you want to do is you just want to match up. You always want to double check the one you have with what's there. I worked off the manual. I didn't actually open up the unit before I ordered it. I just ordered it off the manual. But you'd still want to double check. 70, they both are 70. UF 7.5. And it says +6. They both say +6, -6%. 370 volts AC. You want to make sure that matches up, that this new one can handle the same amount of voltage. So we'll put it in. Let's do it slowly. I'll try to get you a view. Okay. So I'm going to take out the old one. Make sure you don't lose any screws. That was just a holder. And we're going to start off with the fan. You may need a screwdriver just to put it underneath and just slide that off. You're going to take the new one, find the fan, slide this onto the fan. Slide it on all the way. Next is the Herm to Herm. Pop it off. This one and the blue one. And I learned this working on cars. Like when you're changing the spark plug wires, you only do one at a time. You don't want to get confused and mix them up, which I've done. Alright, so this one and this blue one go on the Herm. And now we're the Comet. Take off the red and the yellow. Red, yellow, and that's it. Now, the benefit is when you change this run capacitor, it's going to keep it running in tip-top shape. So the compressor is not going to have to work extra hard to start up at first. That's what it does. Any motor needs more energy at first to initially start to turn. Once it turns, it doesn't need as much energy. So what you're really doing is this is just storing extra electricity. When it starts up, boom, it's giving it the electricity it needs to start up cleanly. This way the compressor won't overheat. The hard start capacitor just gives it an extra boost when it's starting up as well. The rest of the wiring here is pretty simple when you look at it. There's a wire from the blower that goes in. And then I have another wire. I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit below here, but that's a cutoff for the generator. When the power goes out, it shuts off the ACs when the generator first starts up, so you don't get that load. And then you just take this. This is the mounting bracket. And just make sure you don't pinch the wires. Oops, a little tricky. And you just put that in with the screw. Just a note, let's take a look at the Run capacitor. Here's the run capacitor we took off. It's interesting. I think that the one we took off actually is bulging a little bit in the middle. I mean, it's not the same manufacturer, so it's hard to say exactly. But the one we've put in, the new one, is flat. This one is concave a little bit. I'm not sure if that's the way it's made or that's indicating a problem. But this is what it is. So this is for a 510 unit. You get to see it's about the size of a can of soda. And here's the one for the 3.5 ton unit. As you can see, it's really much smaller. But definitely you want to replace what was there with exactly the same one. In other words, I wouldn't put this capacitor, this run capacitor, into the 3.5 ton unit. So that's really what I did with the hard start capacitor. I actually did put a 5 ton hard start capacitor into the 3.5 ton unit. And it actually works really well. I don't see any dropping of the voltage at all with the 3.5 ton unit. I do see a little bit with the 5 ton unit. And hopefully changing the run capacitor will help. So if you want to keep your expensive air conditioning compressor in tip-top shape, if you want it to last as long as possible, you really want to put in the hard start capacitor, which is good. That doesn't cost much. I think that was like 20-30 bucks. And you want to replace your run capacitor every, say, 4 or 5 years, just to keep it running in tip-top shape. Again, it doesn't really cost that much. It's just $20 or so for the unit, and if it keeps this running well, it's really worth it. You know, even if you get an extra year out of this unit, that's well worth the investment. Pretty much that's all you have to do on these units. The only other maintenance you could do is wash this out, wash out the cooling fins, and that's really it. If you have any questions, put it in the comments section.